Sorry for the clickbaity title. I don't hate this machine, actually rather like it, but there are 5 or so things that I kind of dislike about it. Maybe these are things you would like to take into account if you're thinking about buying an H2D. Just putting it out there. It's a big machine. We know that. It's got a lovely, great big build chamber, but it's big and it's heavy and it wobbles a lot. It has these anti-vibration rubbers on the bottom, but that means that when it's going full tilt printing, it is jiggling and wobbling about all over the place. And it's a little bit disconcerting. You compare that to the X1C, which just sits there rock solid, barely moves. So the H2D floating around, I don't know, it's just a bit weird. Having said that, the benefit, I think, it is very, very quiet. The X1C, it lets you know it's there. It's not moving, but it's vibrating, so you can feel it and it makes noises, whereas the H2D, even when it's printing big things, it might be wibbling all over the place, but it is very quiet. That's really cool. The second thing, which is in a similar realm... Oh, shut up! Can you hear that? That's really annoying. I'm going to cover that in my TerraMaster video. It's quite slow to print. I've done a speed comparison between the H2D and the X1C. In a single filament print, the H2D is noticeably slower, so I've been batch printing these fidget toys and a bed of 9 items. The X1C is a full hour faster. Now obviously in dual extruder mode, the H2D absolutely blows the X1C out of the water. It's not surprising, it's a big heavy machine with a big heavy tool head that it's got to move around. Suppose I should caveat the speed thing by saying that that is using literally default settings that Bambu Studio suggests for the printers. The H2D is advertised as being able to achieve 1000 millimeters per second speed, so it should be twice as fast as the X1C. At least in my testing so far, just using default settings, default slice profiles, everything like that, that's not been the case. But don't flame me on that because I need to put more time in it. Yeah. Number 3, it's a dual nozzle head, but the AMS will only feed one of the nozzles. So actually you don't get the benefit of 4 filaments in your AMS going to 2 nozzles. Actually you get 4 filaments in the AMS going to one of the nozzles, and then you feed the second nozzle from the side spool adapter or a second AMS. And it gets a bit annoying because Bambu Studio now insists on you trying to use the optimal filament choices. So if you've got a print using a certain amount of one color, then it will insist that that goes on that standalone spool holder. Now, if you set up your AMS with 4 and then all of a sudden now you've got to move it and put that on there and move that one back in and all that stuff, it's one of those things, but I can just see it becoming a bit of an aggravation that you can't just load up the AMS and just go and feed both nozzles. So number 4, just some of the design choices on the machine itself are just a bit annoying. For example, the USB slot on the front of the machine is an old school USB. There is no extra SD card slot. So if you want to use the time-lapse functionality, you have to have a USB stick plugged in all the time. So I've seen people saying that this is actually really good news, that they hated the SD card because if you don't use the Bambu Cloud to push your print files onto the machine, then having a USB slot at the front of the machine makes perfect sense. But I would say, well, why not have an SD card as well for the time-lapse and the USB slot as well for putting files on there? It's a £1,500 machine. The hardware cost would have been absolutely negligible and you would have had the best of both worlds. I just find it a bit annoying to always have the USB stick sticking out the top. It just looks a bit rubbish and I'm worried that I'm going to hit it or whack it or something, I don't know. And the poop chute is round the back, same as the X1C, but on the H2C it's a big machine, so the poop chute is much, much further. So the first thing you have to do when you buy this machine is print yourself a poop collector, whether that's round the back or round the side with blah, 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 and it's just a bit annoying. But then having said that, Bambu have put in this auto flap, presumably because it's the only way they can guarantee the regulation of the heated chamber. But having the little flap pop up is kind of cool, and same with the exhaust fan on the back. It feels quite high tech having that stuff. One thing that doesn't feel high tech, but I kind of like anyway, is the funny noises the H2D now makes. They're not professional sounding noises, but this is not an industrial machine. So when you wake it up and you send it a print, it will bing bong at you. And when it finishes the print, it will bing bong at you. And when something goes wrong, it will kind of toot toot at you. And it's quite sweet. I mean, you can turn it off if you want to, but you know what, I don't hate it. And number 5, now this is more to do with Bambu Studio than it is the hardware, but there's clearly something in between there. Now this is an issue I've had with the X1C forever and they still haven't fixed it. And if anything, it seems worse on the H2D. Now obviously on these consumer models, you only have the option of Wi-Fi. If you wanted a fixed Ethernet port, so to stick it on your LAN via a cable, then you have to upgrade to the Pro model, and the cost difference for that just, in my view, doesn't make sense. So you are forced to run these machines on Wi-Fi if you want to use the cloud server. If you set a long print running and then your computer sleeps, so the print finishes and you come back, you wake your computer up, Bambu Studio will not reconnect to the printer automatically. It doesn't matter what you do, whether you fiddle with settings in Bambu Studio and turn Wi-Fi off, turn it on again, push the buttons, it makes no difference. The only thing that fixes it is close Bambu Studio and open it again, and then it will immediately reconnect. So that tells me that that is an issue with the software, and there is clearly something a bit strange going on. Forces you then to save your project in the state it's in, and you close Bambu Studio and you open it again, and blah, 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 blah. And then I've just got another small gripe on the topic of Bambu Studio. Now that I'm running an X1C and an H2D, Bambu Studio can get kind of confused over which machine it's talking to and which profiles and which configs and whatever else. And I find that I'm switching between them. Prints running on the X1C and I've got prints running the H2D, and then I want to start a new print on the H2D, but it's gone back to the X1C, and I find I'm synchronizing the AMS slots a lot more, and it can only be because it's kind of getting a bit confused between which is the current machine. So just a couple of bonus gripes, I suppose, and again, not specifically about the H2D, I don't think, but 2 things that, again, these would just be quality of life things. First is the print again feature you get on the machine itself, where if it completes a print and then you just want to run it all over again, it would be super handy if you could print again, but then change the filament. If it's the same material, it should be possible just to print again, choose this slot from the AMS, away we go. The second thing is the auto refill on the AMS is awesome. That if your filament runs out halfway through a print, it will automatically swap over to a replacement filament, but it forces you to specify the same filament type and the same color, and then the auto refill automatically detects that it will go from one to the other, and theoretically you could load up the whole AMS with 4 filaments and it will just cycle through them. But I use this functionality to use up old spools of the same material. So if I've got a little bit of PLA left and I'm printing something where the color doesn't matter, the only way I can get it to use that and just exhaust it is by specifying it as the same color. But again, it's a weird edge case. For someone like me, it'd just be a nice little feature that if you could go in and specify, yeah, it's the same material, use this primary, refill from this, refill from this, refill from this, or something like that. I don't know exactly how it would work, but that would just be a neat little feature for me. So those are 5 things that I kind of dislike about it, but there are a couple of things that have immediately jumped out, which are really cool. The first is, whilst the old AMS is compatible with the H2D, the new AMS 2 Pro has been improved. If you've ever had to take broken filament out of an AMS 1, you know how much of a pain that is, that you have to get screws out, you have to get the whole bottom thing up and out, and it's just a bit of a pain to have to try and get screws out. Whereas on the AMS 2 Pro, that's all gone. All of it's accessible from the top, and the little connection thingy for the PTFE tube on the back is easier, better to get it in. That just seems a bit better and up-rated. So that's the first thing that's really neat about this. The second thing that's quite noticeable, there's a fly. Can you see this fly? Little fuck. The H2D has new chamber filtration built in, so if you are printing something smelly like ABS, I think that just seems to be reduced. So it's much nicer now to print ABS in my office because you don't get some of those issues. Now, so I've only had it a week. I haven't in any way put the machine through its paces. Having the flexibility of having 2 has been brilliant, because it means you're not tying up one machine just with a small print. If you want to do a small print, I put it on the X1C. If I want to do loads of stuff, I put it on the H2D. I am vaguely considering getting a small machine, possibly an A1 or an A1 Mini, just to have the pure freedom to print the small parts. You can often tell what I'm working on by what's on my desk when I record these videos. And stuff like this, I don't need that full-size chamber, even of the X1C, let alone the H2D. I don't know, I'm just starting to think, would that be the optimal setup? An A1 or an A1 Mini for the quick stuff, an X1C for firing out, rapid fire, single filament prints, and then the H2D for the big stuff, for the dual filament stuff. I don't know, that's just kind of where I'm at the moment. And this is probably going to be my last video on the topic of the H2D. I think I've done it now. I am really excited just to get stuck into actually using these machines to actually do some stuff and to stop talking about it. I'm working on the Orb of Dominance thingamabob at the moment. Thank you ever so much for watching. Appreciate it a great deal. If you aren't already subscribed, then please do subscribe. That would really help me out, it really helps the channel. If you could comment on the video, that helps a lot too. That would be fantastic. And I will see you in the next one.